And we are live. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome,
It
welcome.
it has definitely been a minute. Um, I do want to express condolences to all the families yesterday that lost loved ones in the mass shooting in Birmingham, Alabama. So I do want to say that before I go ahead and start. Today we're going to discuss the Zodiac Signs. I had a friend of mine who actually gave me the topic for the podcast today, which the Battle of the Signs.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I wanted it to be like, let's kick back and talk about it. I know that we did this topic before, but I just wanted to get into it with you again and
Yeah,
kind of kick back and let's talk about it because a lot of us have toxic traits or, good traits,
hmm,
personality traits that most don't understand kind of, but I know some people believe in zodiac, some don't.
hmm.
But in my personal opinion, I believe that it's good to know because that way you can have a better understanding of the other person.
Right, right. I agree. Definitely agree.
So let's get the ball rolling today.
You want to go in
And
order and start at the top?
I'm going to start with Sagittarius.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
And I wanted to do that because, I'm a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So we are very loving people. We are. I can truly say that. However, there are little toxic traits, that we do carry.
Yes.
Um, and I was watching TikTok the other day, and one of the memes that they had on TikTok was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Sagittarius. Your secrets are safe with me because I
Right.
forget about them." And
And I,
I just started cracking up because I was
well,
like, man,
I'm laughing because I'm looking at some of the characteristics of being a Sagittarius, and it says that you are insightful, you're rational, you're brave, you're lively, but you're also forgetful.
exactly. So I was like, yeah, that seems about right. When people tell me, most of their secrets, it never goes anywhere.
Right,
Well, my first intention is like never to tell your secrets. Like I'm very big on that. And second
right.
of all, it's good that I forget because there you go. You ain't got to worry about it.
You ain't got
But
to worry
any
about it.
but I don't, that's not my thing. Your secret is safe with me. So another meme that I was looking at is I'm a Sagittarius, so I can try to do your makeup, hair, and anything else I'm interested in at the time.
At the time. Yep.
And I was like, you know what? This is me. This is me. Like, I do a lot
Yes.
in one pot. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Right.
Like, you never know. But I think it is a good thing because you don't know what you may really be tapping on.
Exactly.
So I think I can deal with that one.
Now,
Um,
what do you think your sign is most compatible with? Like, what have you, based on your research, what have you heard that you're most compatible with?
they say another Sag.
Really?
Yeah. What you've read.
Let me pull up my little cheat sheet.
Another thing about me too, like Well, Sagittarius, not me. I'm speaking personally. Look at me. Okay. About Sagittarius is, Sagittarius people are very blunt.
Yeah.
And sometimes it get mistaken for it as being mean. But I did have a problem with this, like especially in my relationship. Um, in my past relationships, excuse me. People would think that some people, not all, of course. If you really knew me, you would know.
Right.
But some people actually thought I was trying to be mean just because I was being blunt. Now, I am blunt, but I'm not disrespectful.
Right. You're just straightforward to the point, you know, just direct,
Exactly.
just very direct. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And in no way I will, start disrespecting you.
Right. You just
Not
direct,
as far
direct.
as if you start raising your voice at me and start cursing and this and that and the other, then you might get another little side.
A different side gonna pop out.
Yes.
Well, your compatibility chart based on this and what I pulled up and looked up for us is um, you're compatible with a Leo. You have very high communications with Leos, and overall compatibility is high. With Virgo, the communication is low, and the overall compatibility is low. With Libra, the communication is high, but the overall compatibility is medium. And with Scorpios, your communications with them are medium, but the overall compatibility is low.
So what was the first one you said?
Leo.
Oh wow. See, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That I mean, it kind of I could see that though. I could see that. So it has to be like another fire sign kind of like
Yeah.
I've read somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I didn't really have the opportunity to experience I think it was just like one person, but after that it's been mostly like water signs.
Right.
So um another thing about Sagittarius is they don't have much patience. And I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that too. And they advocate for honesty because they don't like liars.
Oh,
They also don't like to be controlled by others. And I
yeah.
think I talked about that last time,
Yeah, I think so. I think you did. I think I remember that.
especially about the controlling side. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I was telling people, like, if you really, like, Sagittarius are very, like, free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you really get one, especially in a relationship, and get them to marry you or anything like that, it's like you're lucky.
Yeah, you are. You
Because
definitely are.
their signs, it's a love sign.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, um, yeah, it's a fire sign, but it has a lot to do with the archer.
Right.
So it's like you'll fall in love, whatever, but they like to be free.
They do. They certainly do. They definitely
What
do.
sign we doing now? Leo.
Yes. So I'm a Leo, and it's a fixed fire sign ruled by the sun. Has energy that is glamorous, courageous, and bold. I can attest to that. I feel that way about myself. And
Mm-hmm.
here we'll dive into the personality traits of Leo and explore how this sign approaches life, love, career, and more. So, again, the personality traits are bold, confident, courageous, creative, fierce, generous, regal, ambitious, restless, and dominant. So, I do have that, tend to want to have control or have decision
Dominate.
making. I tend to want to have a good handle on, all situations and be a little bit, rawr,
That's
let
right.
let out a little bit of a roar every now and again. You might hear that about Leos, but we're also at the same time, and I think I've used this explanation previously when we talked about this topic. It's like people look at Leos and you see like the lions when you go to the zoo, and sometimes they come out, sometimes they're in their sometimes they're in their little caves, and you want them to come out, and they're just looking at you, looking at them, looking at you, looking at them. Like we're very observant. We're very observant and try to like observe all of our surroundings and have an awareness of all of our surroundings and everything and all that's going on. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I definitely feel like that. Um,
Do you think that's something that more people need to understand about Leo?
yes.
Okay.
Y- Yeah, I think so.
I was
Um,
looking at a meme on TikTok about Leos and it said it's not attention, it's about appreciation.
yes.
Like, do you feel like you're misunderstood when it comes to that?
I think sometimes I'm misunderstood for that because people think, they look at me and they expect me to be like a certain way, but then they
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation with me or they talk to me and they get to see, oh no, she's not how I expected her to be. And
Exactly.
I'm always like, why would you say that? And then people will come out, well, I just thought you would be like this, or you would be, like not nice to talk to or not friendly. And I'm like, I'm so friendly, I'm so nice. I do have a big heart, and I just think that the people that I let in, I once you're in, it's like you're in, and I have to like protect you, and I have to guard you, and it's just I think that's a good personality trait, to have with someone that you're friends with or that you're, married to or in a relationship with. But I don't know. I mean, it's like this description says that the sign of Leo wants to see and be seen, and that was my, example that I said of like when you go to the zoo, when you go look at the lion, section, the lion area, they're just kind of there.
They want to be seen because they
Yeah.
want you to know their presence. Okay. I saw
Yes.
another one about Leo's. I'm a Leo. I need my flowers now.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
Do you take things too personally? They say Leos kind of take things too personally.
Um,
Do
I
you
want to
feel like you do?
I don't feel like I take things too personally. I've especially learned that, as I've grown up and matured more into myself and got really comfortable with who I was as a person, I've learned that, not everything is, about me. When somebody talks to me in a certain way, that may not be necessarily about me. It might be something that they have going on and that's caused them to be short or blunt or, quick-tempered or whatever, or say something like, that's kind of like not out of the norm. Um, but I don't think it's a weakness at all. But we do definitely need to take our breaks. Leos have to make sure that they're resting, they're relaxing, and recharging as needed. And I will attest to that.
Yes, I was just about to say that because like I feel like Leos like they work very hard.
Hmm.
And so I feel like it may look like a little toxic and it may be toxic in some ways, but I feel because they work so hard, they want it to be appreciated.
Hmm.
So, they don't just want it to be like, oh, yeah, that's cute,
Right, right. And
No,
you're
like,
like you're like, oh, I did this for you, and I want you to, you know, praise me, for doing what you needed, or I came in for you and came through for you. I showed up for you, and you want that, to be acknowledged. I can understand where where people would would see that or think that is, how Leos are.
Another fire sign. And let's go to Cancer.
Okay,
Mm.
let's do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
A
Just so happened that I know this sign a little too well. And
little too well.
sometimes I just wish I didn't. Because I know a lot of cancers.
Yes.
Um, I can truly say with my experience with cancers, they are the most loving people. They are.
Hmm.
But I'm sorry, like some of them, they crazy.
Yeah, it says that some of their weaknesses are being moody, pessimistic, suspicious, manipulative, and insecure.
And then you got the cancers that are either too emotional, like
Right.
extremely emotional,
Mm-hmm.
who expresses it very well, because you can see it, they're gonna let you know,
Right.
or the ones who hold it inside.
Mm-hmm. Which is no good,
But
of
but
course.
either but either way, both of them are very extremely emotional.
Right.
So you have been warned in real chill in real chill conversations. Do not break a cancer's heart.
Yes, or you will regret it.
Um, this is a very sensitive sign, and um, it can be really easy to hurt their feelings.
Yes.
Um, one of their toxic traits was stated that they are good manipulators.
Yes.
Um, I could see that
Mm-hmm.
because they're so emotional.
Yeah.
And usually, the very, emotional people, they are very good manipulators.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to manipulate things
Yeah, cancers
and
are also
situations.
there. Yes. They're also known, like you have the ones that you were talking about. You have one side of the cancer and then you have another side of the cancer. But there's the gentle side, the imaginative, the caring side, the sensitive side. But then when you get into that possessive side, that's when you're like, whoo, I can't. No,
It'd be too
no, no,
much.
no. To be too much. Yeah, it's the possessiveness for me that is
Mm.
is like a no, like a hard no.
Y'all heard it here in Real Chill Conversations. Go ahead and take your shoes off and kick back. Cause we gonna get into it tonight. We're not going in on any sign. Let's do some disclosures really quick though.
Okay.
Um, this is for entertainment purposes only. And we are not bringing anyone down. Of course, we just, wanted to have a conversation about the zodiac signs. I feel like, in my personal opinion, like, you know, zodiac signs is like really cool because you get to know like the personality, and maybe that way you don't misunderstand a person and you know how they are. We all have toxic traits, and can't
Right.
nobody sit up here and tell me we don't.
Right.
We do.
Mhm.
And instead of dissecting it and knowing what that person's toxic traits are and try to, come into an agreement, we always like want to knock somebody off.
Right.
Because we be like, oh, we can't deal with that. But
Right.
guess what? You want people to deal with your stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm so glad you said that.
It's so easy to knock a person off because they have toxic traits, but the toxic traits that you have, you can't see them.
Right.
But they can see them, but you can't,
Exactly.
right? But
Mhm.
you want people to work with you on your toxic traits, but you can't work with nobody else on theirs.
Right.
So I think I wanted to do this topic mainly because we be knocking each other off.
Yes.
And I feel like if people understood each other more, then you won't miss out on opportunities.
I also want to disclose that we are not professional astrologists. So
We are
uh, i-
not.
if you try to reach out and have us do your whole birth chart and star signs and your Earth, on where you were born and do that whole chart thing, this is not the place for that because
Absolutely.
we are not licensed astrologists. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Absolutely. It is entertainment purposes only. And let's go into Taurus because I have a family member very close to me, very close. That's a Taurus.
Okay.
And geez,
What is it
I
about that Taurus?
listen. I can talk about this one too, y'all. Don't knock me, okay? Because first of all, I started off with Sagittarius. I let y'all know
Hmm.
all my toxic traits. Um, but yes, let me start with saying, they are very hardworking people.
Yeah.
However, they are very stubborn.
Yes, yes. Very stubborn and very persistent about that. But they're also highly intelligent and practical. So that's a
Oh
lot of
yes,
good.
they
Yeah,
are.
that's a lot of good right there
And
too.
and you would like a Taurus can really like be successful,
Yes.
like literally.
Hmm.
Um, is it really hard? I have a question for my Taurus people. Is it really hard for y'all to accept y'all mistakes? I just want to know.
Yep, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't really know.
Or is it maybe they feel like they don't make any mistakes? I don't
I
know though.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
question. So if you're a Taurus, drop it in the comments. We want to know.
yeah, for sure. We definitely want to know
Any
that.
Geminis in the building?
Ooh-wee.
Oh, let me say this before we start talking about Geminis. I have to say this. Y'all, let's not really go in on Geminis for real. Because I think we have a misconception about Geminis.
Okay.
But let's go. Let's go.
I mean, Geminis are normally helpful. They are modest. They do have a taste of wanting to be perfect, but they're also very, very funny. They have a good sense of humor. They like to laugh. They like to have a good time. But I think it's just when stuff doesn't go the way that they want, then Geminis kind of have the I don't know if it's a misunderstanding of them actually being misunderstood by other people because they just seem like they're just so happy-go-lucky and easygoing and all that and laid back. But then when they find themselves in a situation and they get super tight about it, and they just show a different side to them. I think, I mean, that's the only thing that I think is like really the misconception about Geminis. People think that they're like this, you know, good versus evil type of situation, and it's not that. I don't think that it's that at that it's that at all. I don't think there's a good and evil situation and scenario with Geminis. That's kind of been like the history and like the jokes and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I can say that they are good people and they are very helpful. They do like to have a good time. They do like to laugh. So yeah, I like to have a good time. I like to laugh, and I think that's
Listen, a Gemini will make you laugh and have
mhm,
fun.
yeah,
Um, they are very special. Um, I think they quickly lose interest
yes,
if you have nothing to offer.
yeah,
Now that I have noticed that because I have people that are close to me as well that are Geminis, but they're actually one of the smartest zodiac signs. So I
Yeah.
did do my research on that. This sign will outplay you at your own game.
Right, right, right.
So, like, don't even be trying to play no games.
Yeah, you trying to play, checkers, and they're doing chess.
And they very good at making people look crazy.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, but definitely, like you said, Brenna, they're really fun people to be around,
Yeah.
and you won't get bored with them.
Right.
I do have a lot of Gemini friends that, well, when I was younger,
Mhm.
and still to still to this day, I do connect with some of them. But they were really fun to be around,
Yeah.
and I did have a good connection with them
Yeah.
because I'm crazy too. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Next on the line, Scorpio.
Scorpio. What do you think is the overall summary of when somebody says they're a Scorpio, what the next person, what the person is hearing, what they're thinking about that person without even having a full conversation, just being told that they're a Scorpio. What do you think comes to mind as being the understanding of that zodiac trait?
Somebody, actually a Scorpio, said this, and they were like, "Yeah, we cool and all, but don't try us, cause we will we come out."
Yep.
I was like, and you know what was my first thought? Cause when I talk to people about Scorpios, or they have a situation with a Scorpio or whatever, I feel like Scorpios, like people, like they like it's a sign that people are not too fond of.
Mm,
I'm gonna just say that. Um, some of the characteristics was being around them can trigger you
yeah.
because they will make you face your demons.
Yes. Scorpios are very suspicious. They are mysterious as well, independent. They're intuitive, and they're also obsessive about certain things and certain people when they get attached or when they're interested. They bond quickly.
I don't think that I'm so compatible with a Scorpio. Um, Not in that way.
Yeah.
Um, some toxic traits where that they were irritating to some because the whole time they're just trying to figure you out.
Mhm.
And Scorpios have a jealous tendency. They also always feel like they should protect their feelings versus yours.
Mhm.
And I just have a question for Scorpios.
Go ahead.
Do y'all have trust issues? Let your friend in, girl. Let your friend in, girl.
Yeah, let her in.
Do you
Let her
have
in.
trust issues? Because that'll make you lose a lot of friendships.
Yes.
Now, you
Yes.
can't think that everybody is against you.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's not a good trait.
Mm-mm.
You miss on really good friendships, really good relationships with people.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't always think somebody out to get you.
Right. Exactly.
What you got to say about Scorpios?
Um, I just have had an experience with knowing some Scorpio women and knowing some Scorpio men. And both of them have given off that air of like mystery, that mystery, and like you don't know what's going on. They're trying to get in your head. You're trying to figure out what are they doing?
Would that make you feel like kind of scary? Like, would you want to be around somebody who you don't know who that their next move might be?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I
Nope.
don't think. Yeah.
Nope, I would not. It's a no. That one
I
is a
think
no.
that's a downfall of personality.
Mhm.
But, some of them they'll tell you, and some of them, of course, they won't.
Right.
But for the ones that don't, definitely like you don't want to live on like that because that can become very stressful,
Yeah.
especially on yourself.
Right.
Anyways, next zodiac sign on the chart, we got Aquarius.
Aquarius.
What you got?
Um, I have that Aquarius are they're very laid back. They're very laid back. They're very calm. They also, are good people. They have good intentions and like to help people out and things like that. Um, I also know that, my experience, with them is that they, being an air sign, I think that makes them kind of like a sign that is compatible with probably every other sign. I feel like there's less conflict with someone that's an Aquarius just based on that.
I'm gonna say the truth, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I don't understand Aquarius. And that's a sign that I have in my family so much. Like, this sign is skeptic. You can't tell too much about them. Like, for real, for real. Um, they like I know a
Well,
lot of Aquarius people that say they love people, but then they be like, get the fuck away from
I don't know the adult Aquariuses. I only know my 15-year-old is an Aquarius and he's very laid back. He gets good grades. He plays, sports. He helps out, volunteers. He's helping his little brother with football. He helping coaching middle school football. So I just see him in that way. And his,
just
he's very loving and he's very, he's interpretive and he's intellectual, highly intellectual, very smart, very much able to express his emotions and his thoughts and his feelings. So, when you raising people and you give birth to these signs, it's like it's the craziest thing because I'm
and
a
you gotta
Leo.
understand who they are too.
Right, right.
Because one thing is raising them and also understanding who they are.
Exactly. And it's like
Yeah.
watching, who he's, growing up to be and being, finding himself and like finding his own way. It's just been really great to see him, make these certain decisions. It's like not everything has had to be like, you need to do this and you need to do that. It's like him making the decisions and I'm like, okay, yep, that's a good decision. Yep, okay, keep it going. Yep, okay, nope, that wasn't a good one. Let's not do that again. let's let's not do that one again.
And
But
I do have an advice for people. Don't be trying to be like them.
yeah.
Cause they get mad at that.
Mhm. Yeah. Definitely don't do that.
They Aquarius, there was also a meme on TikTok about Aquarius. They were like, I'm an Aquarius. I'm flirty, but when I meet a person, I become weird.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and there was another one. Aquarius like helping, but just don't ask for too much help
Oh,
because
like
then they'll
like having a
ghost
little
you.
right.
They'll be like, oh, I gotta go.
Right.
Right. And you know what? That last statement there, uh-huh. I see it a lot.
Yep.
You know who I'm talking about. I got so many people in my family that are Aquarius.
That's crazy.
They do love to help though. They love to help. Um, but just don't wear them out
Right.
because they gotta go.
Yeah. And they'll be quick to be like, nah, that's not for me. That's not the vibe for me. I'm not
Oh,
doing
they
that.
gonna tell you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that.
They're going to tell you. They're going to let you know.
Hmm.
And then you're gonna be like, but I thought, no, you thought wrong.
Yeah.
Let's go to Libra.
Libra, 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 Libra. Libra's a good sign. I know a few Libras um, that I have a close.
Yeah, they can be your friend and whoever hates you too. They can be anybody's friend.
Yep.
So don't be trying to get mad at a Libra because they're
Hmm.
friends with somebody you don't like or they don't like
Hmm.
you. Cause baby, you gonna be messed up, okay?
Yes. Yes. They are idealistic. They're artistic. They're charming, and they also have a sense of balance and justice. So they don't. I think they have the ability to kind of see things from different perspectives a little bit easier than some of the other signs that we've talked about. So I think that's,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think that's what it is about Libras. Like they're, have a sense of, wanting to have things be fair and balanced. And so they're that friend that can be friends with, you know, people that don't
Anybody and everybody.
that don't necessarily get along. Like they'll still be friends with them and be social with them, but then they'll come over by you and still be social, social with you. But they keep it, they kind of know how to keep it separate and not trying to drag anybody into anybody else's mess. So I think that that's a good trait to have.
They are very balanced and they're excellent negotiators
Yes. Yes.
because of that because they can see
Hmm.
all sides.
Right.
I have a question. I have a question for y'all. Have anyone struggled with a Libra?
That's a good
I never
question.
struggled with a Libra.
I haven't either. I have not either.
If
Mm-mm.
you have, just know you heard it here in Real Chill Conversations by Dominique. You might be the problem. You just may be the
Yeah,
problem.
you might be the issue if you manage to piss off a Libra like
O-
that.
Okay. And
Because
dear
they don't they
Libras,
don't they don't rush to get angry. They don't rush to get mad. They don't immediately fire back with some, smack talking. They don't do that. Like they keep their
no, they
cool.
don't.
They keep
Right.
their cool. They keep their tone. Like they don't start yelling. Like they don't raise their tone. They stay calm, cool, and collected. So
And
do
you
not
know,
piss.
they're able to keep that energy.
Yeah, they
They're
can make
able to,
they can maintain it the whole time the other party is acting a fool and turning things up. They can maintain that that balanced positive energy and be calm and focused and
and I have
realize that it's not rational to try to argue with somebody otherwise.
exactly. Dear Libras, do you all have any best friends? Just put it
We,
in the chat.
yep, put it in the chat.
Do you all have any best friends? I think they're just like they can be cordial with anyone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Aries. Mm.
What you know about Aries?
I have Aries and Pisces in my family. And Aries is like, we're going to talk about Pisces too, y'all. I said that
Yeah.
for a reason.
Mhm.
What I can say is that is true is that Aries is very independent. We gonna say
Mhm.
that, okay, first.
Right.
And they're not afraid to be who they are. And
Mhm.
those are very great traits about them. Um, who make them leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Right.
not I have not really met any Aries that is a follower. Like,
Yeah. They're very energetic, but they're also honest, active, and passionate. But one of their traits that is not so great is that they're, impatient. But that's not too difficult. I mean, I think that's normal. I mean, as you get older, you just have less of a tolerance for certain things. You don't,
oh,
stand
it
in
can be a
for everyone.
downfall too though if you don't know
Yeah,
how to control it.
that's true.
They are fun to be around, not net like I said, natural born leaders. And they're natural born leaders and they love competition.
Mm,
And
yeah.
like you said, their lack of patience can be very reckless. That's why I
Hmm.
said that.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it can be a downfall and it could be a very serious one.
Hmm.
They are also overly competitive and short tempered.
Yeah.
That can bring out a lot of fights.
Right. Especially the being short-tempered. You take someone that's short-tempered and has, a lack of patience, and that's like oil and water. That's just not gonna mix.
Yeah, you
That
have
is,
to learn how to control it.
that is not gonna mix. All right. Are we gonna go in on Pisces now? I want to hear what you got to say.
Let's go in on
What you got to
Pisces.
say.
Let's go in on Pisces because I know some Pisces too. They love to transform a situation. Um, I think Pisces are so emotional,
Hmm.
but I actually had to do my research on their zodiac sign because I do have people in my family that are Pisces as well, and I just wanted to understand them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I learned they feel everything.
Mm.
And if they are not happy, then it will affect a lot of shit.
Yeah, because what I'm looking at is, it says that
But I
they
didn't
are,
know that. I didn't know they actually had to have the intellect to feel
yes,
everything.
yeah, they're very conscious. They have friendliness as associated trait with them. They're also dedicated, they're kind, but they can also be indecisive. And I think that's what I think of a lot of times when I hear chatter about a Pisces is about them not being able to make a decision. It's like I fell in love with a Pisces and something. It was in some song or something somebody sang.
That
Um,
is like to me a superpower.
yeah.
Being able to feel everything and
Mhm.
um you know it stated on the zodiac signs on my research, it stated that Pisces out of all the signs have psychic abilities,
Oh wow.
and they are the most compassionate sign, and it is because of that they can feel
Because they can
everything.
feel everything, so they're
Right.
feeling all the empathy is coming
Mm-hmm.
through their empath, so they're absorbing other people's energy, so they get that, and that adds to all their energy. They pick up on things that are going on around them. They're probably very attentive to that and recognize when energy is off or something feels some way. They're probably the ones that get their little hairs in the back of their neck stands up, and they get a little funny little feeling like they might, they're very sensitive to other things. So yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Aaliyah. Welcome.
Hi,
Let's go
welcome.
into Capricorn now.
Okay.
I get along with Capricorns. Listen,
Me too.
I do. I have a couple people that I'm really good friends with, and they're Capricorns, and like we bounce off each other's energy.
Yes.
But I do have this to say about a Capricorn. If they never gave you any money, they really didn't care about you. No, I'm just playing.
Oh my gosh.
I do feel like most Capricorns control their emotions very freaking well.
Yes, I can
Very
say that.
freaking well. And you
Yeah.
know what? I admire that in a
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we get in our feelings
Right.
and in our emotions,
Right. And
but
Capricorn,
that Capricorn energy, baby,
yeah, they don't let that they don't let stuff get to them like that. And they're very stubborn in that way where they're not going to let stuff impact them like that. If they don't want to move a certain way, they're not going to move a certain way. Here's what's funny. So my mom is a Capricorn and she gave birth
oh,
to a Leo, right?
yes.
My first son is a Capricorn. I'm a Leo. I gave birth to him. I gave birth to a Capricorn.
Wow.
Um, I'm a Leo. My husband's a Leo, and my youngest son is a Leo.
The connection.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
the connection.
yep, it's crazy. It's crazy, and to
I
find
feel
out,
like I
like
feel
my,
like I'm
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say like, and to know that my mom's mom was
Mhm.
also a Leo. She was also a Leo, and she
Oh,
gave birth to a
wow.
Capricorn. So almost like a pattern. It is really funky when you think about it. It's just very very funky about how who gave birth to who, like what their sign was.
I
You
wonder
know,
what does that mean? It has to have a meaning to
I
it.
I think so. I think so too. I think so too.
If you know, let us know.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
I feel like they are very well aware of that emotions get in the way of things they need to do. So they're not so that's why they're not so invested.
Hmm.
Um like
And they
they
don't they
they
don't make a,
not.
they don't make decisions based on emotions. They make decisions based on facts.
Yes,
They need all
yes.
to give me all the information. Let me see the documentation. Da 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 da. They're very detailed in that way. So they don't make decisions based on emotions. They make
And
decisions
they are
based on
so
facts.
damn funny.
Hmm.
They pay attention to everything.
Hmm. You have a good time with Capricorn. I will tell you that.
Oh yeah, I've
You have a
had
good
great
time.
times with Capricorns.
Hmm.
We have. We had good times, great times. Oh, I said we gonna say the best the best for the last how we do this. Virgo.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people got something to say about Virgos. What the telling most beautiful lies. What's going on, Virgos?
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Well, I'm friends with, some Virgos. They definitely like to have fun and go on adventures. They love to travel. They're very funny. They have a sense of elegance, to them. They are into helping. And they can also be modest as well. So they have that balance. Like the introvert, they're extroverted, but they're introverted at the same time. They're the can be the life of the party or just, kind of sit back and be in, just be in the room. Like they don't have to, it doesn't always have to be about them. So that's where like the modesty comes in, I think. But,
There was a meme on TikTok saying attitude is based on perfect or damn near perfect.
right. Yes. Yes, they are perfectionists. Virgos are perfectionists. I mean,
Virgos,
Beyonce's a Virgo, she demands perfection in everything that she puts out and everything that she does. She's very meticulous about.
Virgos say, listen, I could do better than what you're doing,
Yep.
but I ain't doing it.
Right.
Somebody
I
said if
think
Virgos had a approval stamp, the world would be a better place.
that's hilarious.
Hey, it's hilarious, but it happened to me. I promise.
Oh my gosh.
I promise.
Oh my gosh.
Um, Have you ever met a Virgo with an attitude?
Um, I've met a few that had an attitude.
Yeah.
I've had a few with the attitude, but the ones that are still in my friend group and that I still connect with, they're great Libra.
I think that's
They're
a
Virgos.
good thing that
Yeah,
Virgos like strive for the best. I
yeah,
think that's a good thing.
yeah,
Especially that kind of energy to be bouncing off other people, because some people, they don't look at life the way Virgos do. So
yeah.
some people may struggle to be on that level of being pushed to do something. And a
Right.
Virgo can be very pushy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So some people may need that in their life.
Right.
So to me, it's not like, oh, it's the worst thing. No, it's not. To me, it's a good thing, because if I'm lacking in that area, and I've had Virgo friends, hey, get up.
Hmm.
Let's do
Right.
this. You could do this. You could do that. That person may not be doing it, but guess what?
Right.
I'm listening to it. So I'm like, I need to get up. I could do this.
Right.
And it pushes me to do better.
Mhm.
So I think that's a great quality to have. I was watching a toxic trait. I was watching on TikTok as well for Virgos, was Virgos are cocky when they learn how to do something. But I think that's
Yeah.
a good thing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a great thing too. I mean, you want to be able to express your product or whatever it is that you're doing.
Hmm.
If you know how to do either makeup, hair,
Right. When you're
sing.
in the creative realm, like I was saying, Beyonce is a very well known Virgo, and
Yeah, because a lot of people say she's cocky,
right, right.
but if you work hard for your stuff,
Yeah, that's a prime example.
I
She's been
don't
on this
see
path.
why that would be too much of a toxic trait.
Right.
I mean, it can come off toxic, but
Hmm.
okay. Um, yeah, and this is the finale. We have went over every sign there is. So, any final thoughts you have?
I mean, I think that it's very helpful to know, what a person's zodiac sign is,
Right.
and keep that in mind when you're interpreting, you know, behaviors and actions and things like that. If you're not really clear on why they are a certain way, like maybe it ties back to, their sign, and what the traits are that are notable for that sign. If it's matching up with that, then that might make a little more sense, for you, when you're getting to know somebody. I'm not saying like go out and get a birth chart done and that whole thing, but I think it's important to recognize and understand that we all are different. We all tend to have our positive things about us, and we all have our negative things about us, but there's ways that we can try to understand each other a little bit better and not be so judgmental based on signs. As soon as you say a sign, and people are like, boo, they just
Right.
say, oh,
Right. It's not the
boo.
end of the world.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I don't think that we need to be doing that. I think we need to, give each other a little more grace with how we have to what we have to deal with in this world and what we have going on, and take your time and try to get to if you're really trying to get to know somebody, whether it's on a friendship level or a relationship level, really try to understand them and understand their background, You learn, you learn through talking to them things that that they've been through that also contribute to who they are today. Because we don't all experience the same thing growing up, you know what I mean? So how we grow up and what we first do in our early years of adulthood, molds us and shapes us to who we are at this moment. And we need to respect that. Put some respect on it, no matter what your sign is.
Absolutely. And I don't think you could have said it better better. I mean, I you took the words right out of my mouth, like literally. I feel like today's podcast, I wanted to make it like I had this vision of
Mhm.
let's go over the signs again because I feel like people like look for toxic traits in other people just to have something to complain about.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm not saying everybody does it, but I
Mhm.
say that some people do.
Some people do. Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying, if you don't believe in zodiacs, that's fine. That's completely fine.
Right.
Um, I think it's some truth to it just because of the characteristics.
Yeah.
And it made me be able to understand people more. So,
Mhm.
me doing research on different zodiac signs really, because if you didn't, you'd be like, oh, this person is just terrible, you
Right.
know? And you would think, but everybody is different. We
Right.
all have different personality traits.
Yes.
We all react different to things, and we need to
Mhm.
understand why. If you're going to be in a relationship with that person, if that person is going to be close to you. Now, I'm not saying you have to look up every zodiac sign and um do a lengthy study.
Right. And
But
you
I'm
don't have to you don't have to run no background check on their character traits. You just need to understand what you may or may not be getting into. But
and
you can also ignore what the signs say and go with your heart and go with how you feel and just keep in mind that you have to have healthy communication. You have to have healthy boundaries. You have
well,
to.
because sometimes I say I don't know about that, because if you go with that, you should be able to understand how a person is.
Mhm.
That I'm just saying, like, if you just don't, and you're saying, oh, what this person is doing is like the worst thing,
Oh, okay.
but you don't really understand their characteristic of who they
Exactly.
are. So you
Right.
may take everything in a bad way. Am I
Yeah.
saying this right?
Yeah. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. I
Like,
think
taking somebody's personality in the wrong way, you might
in the
think
wrong
that
way.
they're being wrong about how they react to things and
React or
stuff like that,
respond. Yeah.
but it's really their characteristic.
Right. So how they're behaving is like is their normal.
It's
It
their
might
character.
it's their character. So
Mhm.
it might feel off to you because it's not your character. And
Right,
you
but
can't
none of us have the same character.
exactly. So you can't be judgmental on somebody because we all have our own character. We all have our own personality.
Absolutely. And I just say my last words is be positive. I
Always.
try to look at the good in people. And I know in this world we have people that, do evil things and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
Um, but I try to keep my circle positive. I try to
Yeah.
keep the people around me. I try to keep them positive, and I want
Yeah.
them to try to keep me positive.
Yes.
So it's like if you have that type of relationship, it can be like a little bit healthier than
Yeah.
just always having a toxic relationship with someone and really like crashing and losing out on good people just because.
Right.
Um,
Or cutting somebody off too quick without really have taken the time to understand, where they're coming from. You just
Uh,
might, be rubbed the wrong way or feel irritated about their behavior, but you're not really giving them a chance.
Absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people do that.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are judgmental about others, but they're not, for some reason, judgmental about themselves.
Yeah.
And I think, we all do that at one point, but definitely we have to look into ourselves more
Mhm.
than versus other people
Right.
because we definitely want to make sure that we're not missing out on what we could be doing.
Right. A
Um,
good
and
a good a good connection.
mhm.
Yep.
And we're here to help. I
We
feel like a
are.
lot of people miss that too.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people say, "What's our purpose in life?" And I feel like we're here to help.
Right. Here to bring you information about certain things like that maybe you weren't aware of, that maybe you didn't know about, you know, some thoughts that have sparked the news. Like I find that sometimes I just have to take a break from the news because there's just so much that's going on and it can be overwhelming. Um, and I am like one of those people that I can pick up on other people's energy. I'm very empathetic, and I feel when they're feeling something. So I want to do my best to be helpful and supportive, to just listen, and not it's not always about me trying to tell somebody what they should do. It's being a ear for someone to, like, if they just want to vent, and that's all they want is just to get it out. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to try to tell you what you should do. But that's me. And I think our podcast is a platform where we can express different things, and it's a free space and a safe space for people to come to us with questions or get involved with the topics that we're talking about, make the conversations deeper, continue them on in the chats. Like if people go back and they, do a replay and watch this podcast after we end our live, then they can still go in the comments and write some things down, or comment on some experiences that they've had, and we'll respond to that. We're very interactive with our group of people that has been very supportive of this podcast. And yeah, I mean, I would say that's kind of it. I mean, we're here to help. No
Let's
shade,
make our
no
reality
judgment.
a better place,
Hmm.
not the worst place, y'all. It's
Right,
so much that has been going on in this world, like literally. I can't stomach some things. It's just too much.
right, right.
Um, I'm very saddened about what happened yesterday. A
Yeah,
lot of families were affected. This has to stop. This has to stop.
yeah.
Um, my prayers are going out to the families, and it just have to stop. It's so much. It's
It,
too
it,
much.
it's too much. Exactly. It's too much. It is too much.
And we'll end it here, y'all. So I
All right.
thank you for tuning in with us tonight. And if you didn't, just you can always hit replay.
Right.
Remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, to our podcast, Real Chill Conversations.
Hmm.
Like and share.
Yep.
And we will see you all next. We'll talk to y'all next weekend.
Yep. Next weekend, I'll let you know what the topic is and put it out there so we have time to ramp up for it.
And thank you so much for joining.
Of course, always.
And have a good night, everyone. Peace
Good
out.
night, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.